Our whole digital world is built on speed, constant, relentless innovation. But what if that race to build the future is leaving its foundations, well, a little shaky? Today, we're diving into a really big question. How do we actually find peace in cyberspace?
Think about the modern tech industry. It's moving at an absolutely incredible pace. It really is like a digital gold rush, with all these companies racing to build the future of everything. Finance, entertainment, you name it. And in this world, momentum is everything.
This idea is captured perfectly in a core value from one software company: move fast and attack problems head on. It's not just about building stuff, it's about this relentless drive to just ship it. Don't wait for perfection. This is the raw energy that powers Silicon Valley. And it's not just about speed, it's about disruption. Break through walls to win. This mindset is absolutely everywhere. The whole point is to smash through any obstacle and completely change the way things have always been done. And this innovation touches, literally every corner of our lives. You've got companies building regulated crypto futures, others creating digital collectibles from concerts. Some are helping businesses manage all their software, and others are totally transforming how we buy musical instruments. It's this vast, exciting, interconnected world.
So this brings us to the crucial question, right? When the number one rule is basically move fast and break things, what gets forgotten in that mad dash to the finish line? And that question shifts our focus from the shiny surface of innovation to its, let's say, hidden underbelly.
Because underneath all this rapid innovation, there's a constant and often totally invisible struggle going on. It's a hidden digital battlefield where our data, our infrastructure, even our democracy is under threat. And that kind of conflict requires a completely different way of thinking. So, to help us navigate this incredibly complex world, we're going to turn to the work of Professor Scott J. Shackelford. He's the executive director of the Ostrom Workshop, and with affiliations at places like Stanford and Harvard, he's really at the forefront of thinking about these massive challenges. What's so interesting about his approach is that he doesn't look at cybersecurity in a vacuum. Nope. He takes what's called a polycentric view, which is a fancy way of saying he connects it to everything else: privacy, international law, even sustainability. It's a framework that sees our digital world not as a battlefield, but as a shared ecosystem we all have to take care of. And you can see just how relevant his work is in some of these titles. When Toasters Attack, that's about the risks of all our smart devices. Or Making Democracy Harder to Hack. That one really highlights the incredible stakes. This isn't just some dusty academic theory. This is about protecting the very core of our society.
And all of this brings us to the central theme of his work. It's this proactive search for something he and his colleagues call cyber peace. It's a huge shift away from just reacting to threats and towards building a fundamentally more secure digital world from the start.
So what exactly is cyber peace? Well, it's a proactive and collaborative approach to creating a sustainable, stable cyberspace. The idea isn't just to build higher digital walls. It's about cultivating a healthier online ecosystem for every single one of us.
The difference here is stark. The old cyber war mindset is reactive. It's state-focused. It's defensive. Cyber peace, on the other hand, is proactive. It's polycentric, meaning it involves everyone from companies and governments all the way down to individuals. The goal isn't just winning the next battle. It's about achieving long-term sustainability for the whole system.
And look, this isn't some fringe idea. With his papers downloaded over 27,000 times on just a single academic network, well, it's pretty clear there's a real hunger for a new approach. So the question is, how do we actually put these ideas into practice?
Okay, so how do we take all these principles and move them from theory to the real world? Let's look at some actual applications for building a safer internet right now.
Okay, one of the most compelling proposals is this idea of creating an NTSB for cyber. Think about it. After a plane crash, the National Transportation Safety Board does this incredibly thorough, no-blame investigation focused on one thing and one thing only: making sure it never happens again. So, why on earth don't we have that same collaborative model for major cyber attacks?
Technology can also help build a more secure foundation. For instance, some companies are now using blockchain to help governments create tamper-proof digital records. By making things like property titles or public documents secure right from the start, we slash the risk of fraud and build a whole lot more trust into our public systems.
Another really powerful idea is what Shackelford calls sustainable cybersecurity. He actually draws a parallel to the environmental movement. Just like protecting the planet, securing cyberspace isn't a one-time fix. It's something that requires focusing on long-term resilience, promoting a sense of shared responsibility and building a real culture of security from the ground up.
But at the end of the day, this isn't just about technology or policy. This is about our rights, our society, and the kind of digital world we actually want to live in. And the decisions we're making today, they have profound implications for the future.
Shackelford argues that we are governing a brand new frontier. How we choose to build and secure cyberspace today, the rules we set, the norms we establish, that's going to define our society for generations to come. I mean, the stakes really could not be higher.
And all this leads us to one final critical question. In a world where our lives, our economies, and our democracies are so deeply digital, should cybersecurity be considered a fundamental human right? It's a question that's going to define our future. Thanks for joining us.